Good blessed Wednesday morning, June the 15th, 2022. It's about 8:05 a.m. Today, what I want to show the world, doing my independent investigation of the hanging, lynching, murder of my son, Brian Lamont Johns, which his hanging was a staged suicide. I want you to listen to some of the phone calls that my son made and a couple of businesses made the night before my son's death. Y'all see my son here to the right. He was a young little teenager then. You see that smile? You see the other one to the left. He took that when me and my daughters, two youngest daughters, came from Charleston, Missouri to Carbondale, Illinois to pick him up from the train station one day. And we took him to Marion, where he was going at the time, but he ended up moving to Carbondale, where he was hung by a belt. This heart in this picture that's engraved in this heart stand, was made by my second oldest daughter, Queen Ramona. She wanted to give me something in memories of my son, and she made this personally. But I want y'all to listen to these tapes real good. You done heard some, but starting at 5 o'clock p.m. on Thursday, March the 18th, 2021, my son called, starting at 5 o'clock, 1700 hours. You watch the timing. He called from the University Mall. He called twice. The first time he called the non-emergency number, and he asked for somebody by the name of Sarah. And I did some research. Sarah no longer works there. I would like to talk to her, because if she don't work there anymore, most people that leaving there, I know they leaving there for a reason, for the fact that it's something happening that they don't want to be a part of. Apparently, my son called the non-emergency number from the University Mall about a minute or so after 5 o'clock in the afternoon on Thursday, March the 21st, 2021. And he asked the dispatcher to speak to Sarah. She said Sarah was gone for the day, so she transferred my son to Sarah's voicemail, which we couldn't hear what the voicemail said. My son called again about 50-something seconds later, 911. And I'm going to play the tape and you can listen to what my son said. And the police arrived, but at the mall, at that same mall later on that evening, somebody called from the mall to the police department, want to ban my son from the University Mall. Then later on that evening, about almost an hour or an hour and a half later, someone called concerning my son at Warehouse Liquor. Said that my son, the 911 caller is one of the supervisors or the managers. Listen what he told the dispatcher, but listen what the dispatcher told the police that he dispatched over there. He didn't tell them everything that the man said. The man said he had a homeless individual that was sitting outside of the door of the store, and he told him he had to leave. And he said that my son was shivering and he was cold. And when he told him to leave, he said he couldn't leave because he would pass out. But listen what the dispatcher told the police that he dispatched it over there. He didn't tell him that the man said that my son said he had passed out. He said he just wouldn't leave. Pay close attention, y'all. Why did my son call Sarah first. And Sarah's title was, the lady that took over her job named Monica. Monica's title is the investigator. She's a investigator personnel. Now, if she's an investigator, why did he call Monica? I mean, why did he call for Sarah? Because Sarah's investigator, and Sarah know Brian just like the dispatch and everybody else know Brian. If Brian was suicidal or violent, or if they thought he was suicidal, all them calls they got on March the 18th, why they didn't send him to the hospital? When the warehouse liquor man told him that Brian said if he leave, he'll pass out, why didn't they bring an ambulance? Something ain't right. Pay close attention to these calls, y'all, at what time it is. My son had been called in the police department on Thursday, March the 18th, 2021, from at least about a minute after 5 o'clock, which it'll show 1700. Business establishments at the University Mall was calling to ban them. He was called in the non-emergency. You will see him calling the first time, asking the dispatch on the non-emergency, asking for someone by the name of Sarah. And Sarah was the investigative secretary. What would he be calling them for? Then when you listen to all of these here, when the police arrived, they told the dispatcher that my son wanted to know, was he on their payroll? But listen to all of these here, these leading all the way up to his death. The police said that he was suicidal. All these calls that you gonna hear the night before he was found dead, why wouldn't they at least take him to the hospital or lock him up for a couple of trespassing? What happened to him, y'all? The police know. Look at the time and the date, y'all. 1703.
This Brian John's on. I need to speak to Sarah.
She's already gone for the day, but I'll put you through extension.
Put it through the extension. We didn't hear what was said on that. Sarah's no longer there now. But I want y'all to listen to each one of these here because it's real important.
911, where is your emergency?
This is Brian Johns, man. And hey, y'all want me up out of here? Get me the fuck up out of here, man. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired, man.
Okay, where are you at?
I'm at the mall, man. Quit playing games, man. Y'all know what it is, man. And hey, look, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired, man. Hey, you can send me to Beirut. I don't give a fuck where you send me to, man. And you know I'm full of sense and I'm smart. I'm a man.
Okay, I'll send an officer over to you.
Who's in charge anyway? If I may ask.
Sergeant Draper and Sergeant Lomax.
Tell Draper, man, I need to holler at him, man, on some real shit, man. End game, man. I'm finna fade to black, man. That little powwow at Charlie Park, when I told him I'm standing down, this and that. Hey, look.
Okay.
I'm in my right state of mind. I'm not intoxicated. I'm not on drugs. And I'll prove it. I'll do a backflip and everything.
Okay. I'll send them over there to talk to you, okay?
But hey, look, let them know, man. I'm all right.
Apparently the 911 operator know who he is and know him because when she never asked him what was his problem. Did y'all notice that? 911 called and one straight to the police station. Non-emergency number.
425-424 Carbondale. 425 and 424, Carbondale.
25. 424.
425 and 424 goes to the mall at the Sunglass Hut, 1237 East Main. 1237 East Main. We've got Brian Johns there. He called first for Sarah and was put to her voicemail, and now he's calling 911. Some type of disorderly. It's a priority 3.
425 arriving.
25, 10-4.
Go ahead. I'm at 24 for 57. From 457. Okay, 424. Yeah, I'm here with her. Yeah, maybe. 10-4, I'll be in here in case some issues arise. Yeah.
I'll be in the area in case some issues arrive. What issues gonna arrive? That sound like Sergeant Draper. I don't know for sure. But Sergeant Draper is somebody that my son been having issues with. Sergeant Draper was there most times when something happened with my son.
424 is right.
424, 10.
Listen to this one real good, y'all. Because some people said that the police had my son on, listen, on their payroll.
No, 457.
457, go ahead.
He just wanted to know if he was on our payroll. Get tonight,
10-4.
Listen what the dispatcher said after that.
457, if you would remind him that's not a 911 call, huh? And not a 911 call.
Yeah, he knows better.
He knows better, huh? They've been dealing with him all before he got hung. Keep paying attention. This is 24 hours before he got found hung. Keep paying attention to these times and what the dispatcher calling the police for. Sending them to the mall this time. Listen, look at the time of day.
425, Carbondale.
Go ahead.
425, can you head to the mall, go to the entrance, the front entrance for JCPenney's, and meet CSO Rachel. She's wanting to ban Brian Johns from the property. Party 3.
4 out.
Now that was 1751, y'all. 1751 is 551. You heard all these calls. My son started it off calling. Non-emergency and emergency. Police making it there now.
25 is arriving.
25, 10-4.
Remember all these calls now. Pay real close attention to this here too, y'all. When the man from the warehouse liquor called and said there's a homeless guy out there that's refusing to leave, and when he asked him to leave, he said that the homeless guy was shivering and cold. When he asked him to leave, he said he couldn't, because if he did, he'll pass out. And listen what the dispatcher sent the police call over the radio saying trespassing, and just saying a person refused to leave. He didn't say nothing about it. He said that he gonna pass out. Listen to the caller plus the dispatcher and the police officer. Look at the time. 2019.
911 was the address to your emergency.
Hey, 829 Main Street. I'm at Warehouse Liquor Mart. I am the supervisor. I've got a homeless man on the step of the door who is shaking. He's cold as shit, and I was trying to tell him that it's time for him to go, but he says he taps out, so that's my next step is to call you guys.
Okay, what's your name?
Stephen Lilly.
Lily?
Yeah, Lilley. Not how it sounds.
Okay, Stephen, we'll send an officer over.
Suspense.
I'm sorry?
Alright, thank you.
Uh-huh. Thanks.
Man said nothing about trespassing or nothing like that, did he, y'all? He was concerned about my son. We'll find out it's my son in a minute. But he was concerned about my son. Dispatcher, y'all. 2017 that's 8 o'clock, y'all. 2.5 hours later.
457 Carbondale trespass.
Good.
829 East Main, Warehouse Liquor Mart, 829 East Main. Employee advised that there's a homeless male sitting on the steps in front. He's refusing to leave. Priority 3.
That one.
Homeless male refusing to leave. Not when he told him to leave, like the man said. He said that he would pass out if he tried to get up and leave.
Look, sir, Harvey.
10-4.
We're going to identify who the homeless guy is in a minute, y'all.
That's Brian Johns.
10-4.
Brian Johns was calling for help. A homeless black man calling for help. Wanted to know if he's still on the police payroll.
He's no valid 61 information.
Cool. No, 457.
457, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm clear.
10-4.
He was still alive right then, y'all. Let's find the last one that he was still alive when somebody called. Non-emergency. All right, I want y'all to pay close attention to this too. This is the about 4 hours after the last call to the police department about my son, which I believe was the Warehouse Liquor, which was 2020, which would be 20 minutes after 8 p.m. Now, the police been getting calls since Thursday, March the 18th, 2021, starting at a minute or so after 5 o'clock p.m. First from my son, non-emergency call, asking for Sarah, the investigated secretary, the next time 911, then the mall. But pay close attention to this here camera, doorbell camera that has him, and pay attention to my son's motions, y'all. You could tell he was afraid. You could tell he wasn't suicidal. When he was knocking on that door, you could tell he wasn't trying to get in. The way he was talking, it wasn't aggressive. You see what I'm saying? Was real meek and nice. And he must have knew who lived there, because he didn't say, sir, it's urgent. He say, ma'am. And it's a female that lived there, and her husband live across the street. They on a dead-end street, 20-something minutes after midnight. And you can see in his hand, I know what it is because I looked it close up. It's an axe in his hand. But if you look at the wood is about a foot or so long. You can see it look like it's brand new. You can see the brown real good. And then when he was found 12 or 13 hours later, that same axe had duct tape all the way up to the top. And he was on the 3rd floor in the hallway hung, and the axe was downstairs. And the white female mysteriously found that, his t-shirts and his mask. But pay close attention to this here, y'all. Look at his actions, y'all. Watch when it seems like he hears something, he look around the corner and then push up in the door real quick. You see that? He's afraid.
Excuse me. It's very urgent, man.
Not sir, but ma'am. Right where you see that accent, her husband, Errol, her husband live across the street. I met him. Listen to the voices, y'all. Not my son. Pay close attention to this call that this lady make. And just pay close attention. It wasn't a 911 call. It was a non-emergency call. And watch how calm she is. And didn't get it wrong time. Pay close attention to this here too, y'all. This is the lady calling 911 when my son was knocking at a door. The video y'all just seen. You can see that he wasn't trying to get in the lady's house. He was knocking on the door and he said it was urgent. He wasn't aggressive or anything. But listen to what she says. She said that someone just tried to come in her house. And if somebody's trying to come in my house after midnight and I don't know nothing about them, I'm not going to dial the non-emergency number. I'm going to dial the emergency number 911. And like I said, just pay close attention, y'all. What really happened to my son?
Carbondale, please. Yeah, this is Carolyn at 906 West Burton. I had somebody attempt to come into my house. And I speak with an officer.
Okay, you said 906?
Yes,
Burton?
906 West Burton, yes.
Okay, and how long ago was this that happened?
About 2:30, so about 10 minutes ago.
Okay. All right, I'll send an officer over.
All right, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Bye.
Now, if I was a police officer, I would pay close attention to that call. Number one, she didn't call 911, and she said somebody tried to come in the house at 40 minutes after midnight. Number two, she didn't sound scared at all. Number three, after I watched the video, I would see that the person didn't try to come in our house. The person was knocking on that door saying, "Excuse me, ma'am, it was urgent." The person showed that they was afraid because they kept looking on the other side of them. They didn't take the axe and do anything violent. But just pay close attention.